And you can research that on the internet. Just punch in home-based business, and then it gives you a bunch of things. You can write off part of your electricity, you can write off if you're driving somewhere to a meeting, you can write that off, you can write meals off. I mean, there's so many things you can do owning a network marketing business, working out, that are all legitimate. They're all IRS approved. There's so many write-offs with this kind of business. So anyway, but there's a lot of information also on the internet. Just punch in that and you'll find out all about that. Our next person is Rosemary, and she's going to come up and talk to us a few minutes about blood analyzing. So you have 5 minutes. Come on up and kind of give them a little taste of that.
I've heard testimonies longer than 5 minutes today, so I'm going to talk really fast, so put on your listening ears. Who in the room would like to feel amazing? Okay? Who is not feeling amazing yet, and you've been drinking the water for a little while? Okay, I'm going to tell you what's happening. You're not drinking enough. Who would like to make more money? Okay. All right. What we're going to do is teach you how to do both. Because if you're teaching yourselves and your clients how to drink the proper amount of water for their body size, they will go through more filters, which will make you more money. Does that work in your head? Okay, is that right, Edmund? Exactly. We want people going through their filters because those filters dissolve. They are natural ceramics. If I take my bottle and I use glass, because I like to show people this when I'm out and about, if you shake it for 30 seconds, or even just for a couple of seconds, you can see the minerals dissipating into the water. You can actually see it. It's something you can physically see with your eyes. And so that means that the more you're shaking it, even if you're going through your rock system, the water has to trickle through there, one drop or one trickle at a time. It is dissolving those minerals into your water. So the more water they're drinking, the more filters you're going to have to sell. We're all going to make more money, correct? Okay. All right, so now let's explain this. I want you to repeat after me. You need 1 quart of water. Say that. For every 30 pounds of body weight. Does anybody in the room weigh 120 pounds? No. Okay. All right, you weigh 120. Come here, sweetie. This is my dear friend. We just, I poked her finger last week. We had a great time looking at her blood. Okay, she's 120 pounds. She still needs 1 quart for every 30 pounds of body weight. That means she needs how many quarts a day? 4. How much is 4? A gallon. Do you drink a gallon of water? You didn't until I lectured it through your head the other day, right? She's working on it. She's trying to get up to there. I am sitting right now at 200 pounds. This is me last year at 265 pounds. All right? I'm still 200 pounds. Isn't she cute? All gallon worth of water. I look at people now and I think water. How much water does that person need? How much water does that one need? Okay? But last year at 265 pounds, that's a lot of water. I am thrilled to death that at 200 pounds even, with another 50 to 60 to go, that I only have to drink 7 quarts of water. Okay? Do you know how you get 7 quarts of water? I've trained under Dr. Robert O. Young's staff out of California. All right, the pH miracle that they've been talking about all day, that's whose blood technique that I use. That's the skill that you're going to learn when you meet with me. Or if I'm teaching a class, you're going to hear it over and over and over again. The way he says to get your water in is you figure out how many you need, and then you do the math, and then you get out your clock. And he prefers, and there's something through the brain, there's something in there that triggers on the odd hour. I don't know what it is, but he says every odd hour is when you trigger the brain, fill up another liter. So I need 7 liters. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, I get my first liter. I'm dehydrated. I've been sleeping all night. I got my CPAP machine blowing through, and I'm drier than dry. So I drink my first quart. I get it down. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. I get my last liter filled. I'm taking the last drop by probably about 9 o'clock, where I stop and get down to sipping, because I don't want to hate Edmund when I'm up in the bathroom all night long. Okay? So that's how you have to do it. So take your body weight, divide it by 30. That's how many liters or quarts that you need to get. And get a container that will allow you to visualize that. If you're using a 20-ounce container like our silver, I love those silver containers that are stainless, because they don't let the light in. Those stainless containers are only about 20 to 24 ounces, so you have to do the math. The quart is 32. So take the total of quarts that you need, multiply it by 32, then divide it by the number of ounces that you're drinking from. And you'll know exactly how many of those you need to make. Make a tally sheet. Write it on your forehead. I don't care. Just keep track of that. All right, so that's one thing. I have a great testimonial of all the things that my body has experienced. I used to walk with a cane. I know you wouldn't believe this. I can do Zumba. I can do yoga now. I can sit on the ground with my children and get back up again. I'm going to pass this around. Go ahead and pass these around. This is my testimonial. Not the back part there. This one. That's my testimonial. On the back side are some vegetables and things that are broken down on a left side and a right side by Dr. Young. On the left side are the alkaline-rich foods that you can eat freely with your alkaline water throughout the day. And you will lose weight and get at your ideal, perfect body weight. All right? On the right side are the foods that you need to limit to no more than 20% on your plate. So you want to look at your plate at every meal, even breakfast, and look and see if it's 80% vegetables and 20% whatever. All right? So if you have a bagel and coffee for breakfast, another little trick that I'm going to teach you is white, tan, and brown foods are acid. Say that. White, tan, and brown foods are acid. All the other vibrant colors of the rainbow in the vegetable kingdom are alkaline. So you want 80% of those vibrant, rich, mostly green vegetables, and then your 20% of your whatever. Tatiana, go ahead and click that. So this is some of the things that we've experienced here. Charlotte's Web. We talk about cancer all the time. When a tumor is a way of encapsulating the disease. So if they surgically remove a tumor, but they didn't change the blood, that if you're properly hydrated, will flow from head to toe once every 3 minutes. Well, that's equivalent to over 300 gallons of blood a day going through your heart, your liver, 600 going through your kidneys, and so on and so forth, okay? So if you were going to, if blood is what makes your skin, you know, you get a scab, it turns into skin. It's blood that makes your liver. It's blood that replaces your kidney as the cells die off and replenish every organ in your body, including your heart and your eyes and everything else. Everything dies off and is replaced by new blood cells. So, do we want bacon double cheeseburger, eyes, hearts, livers, kidneys, spleens, and all that other stuff that's being replenished? Do we want bacon double cheeseburger blood? No, we don't. So, it's really important that we continue. Go ahead and click that up. Robin Openshaw, she's the green smoothie lady if you're on Facebook. She's visited, 4 minutes? She's visited with Dr. Young before, and she has, I've got her quoted up here. She says that drinking green smoothies all day long was wonderful, and she does do that, and she recommends that. However, at 80% raw alkaline not achieve effects as impressive as 8 daily glasses of ionized alkaline water. As soon as you start teaching this to your family and your friends, your customers that become your family and friends become your customers, don't they? Because you love them and you want to share this with them. If you ever get an email from me, my tagline says, "To your health, ... and those you care enough about to share the same." So if you're not convinced yourself because you're not feeling amazing yet, you're not getting enough water in. Next. All right. Again, 80% raw or steamed vegetables, and then your 20% of your whatever. Okay? Keep going. These are some of the foods that you're going to want to limit. And you can see that on the back of that flyer I just passed out. These are the ones you're going to eat in moderation. Next one, these are the ones you're going to eat freely. Continue. On the left is what live blood is supposed to look like. Round, smooth, independently flowing, never stacked on top of each other because it's like magnets. They'll repel from each other. The square on the right is what dry blood should look like. I had a client who called me after he got his report in the mail, and he complained. He says, I'm really disappointed. You know, we spent over 2 hours together, but you only marked a couple things off on my report. You know, what's up with that? And I says, you, my dear, are my poster child. I'm using your blood in my demonstrations. You look wonderful. And he was so shocked because he thought that he would have this like massive report. Well, the report is still 30 pages long. But I only had marked a couple of things because he had beautiful blood. So if there's any other damage, go ahead and go to the next one. Like this. This is a gentleman who is a professed overeater. His blood is stacked together like coins in Vegas. That can't fit through capillaries. All right? I don't want to get too graphic in here because there's children in here. But if you're taking a little blue pill, it's because you're dehydrated and getting too much acid in your body. If the blood cannot get into the small capillaries, you've got problems, okay? But after 1 week of drinking alkaline water, he came back, and on the 14th, 7 days later, everything was broken up. Now, it's not beautiful, round, and smooth. He still has yeast and some other things going on, but it's not clumped together like that. Do you see the difference? So get rid of the little blue pill that's destroying your liver and your kidneys and start drinking your water. Next. On the left is my husband. My husband has the markers in that left sample. There's little white puddles in the middle. It's like a little basket of eggs in the middle of his sample. Those are called polymerized protein puddles. That means undigested protein in his colon. His mother died from colon cancer in 1999. He had a polyp removed from his colon a year ago, Thanksgiving. When I saw this in July this last year, I freaked out and I wanted to get him a new colonoscopy. And they wouldn't give him one. Because if you're healthy over age 50, you get a colonoscopy once every 10 years. If you get a polyp removed, you get one every 5 years. That's the way the insurance does it. So I was calling a year later and wanting another one. They said I had to wait 4 years. It had nothing to do with whether or not they cared about my husband's health problems. It cared about whether or not they were going to get paid. So what is Dr. Young's protocol for this? Pureeing the foods, turning it into a blender. I took a whole salad, dressing and all, threw it in a blender, gave him a green smoothie, threw him out the door with it, getting him drinking his right amount of water for his body type and so on and so forth. Go ahead and flip through those as fast as you can, and you can just kind of get an idea. Everything from sugar, I can see rotting spots, just like bananas rotting on each individual blood cell. It looks like little rotten bananas on each little blood cell. And they're not round and smooth. They've ruptured. They're actually lost their surface tension. All of this is disease that can be explained, and it comes down to one thing. Over-acidification is at the root of everything you want to call disease. What's the cure? Realkalize. And there you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosemary. I'm telling you, there's so much to learn around here. I mean, we could do a 15-hour. Well, we couldn't. Nobody would sit that long with us, but we could surely do. You know, there's just so much, and we're talking about how we're going to because there's so much information, and we try to keep our programs kind of between 10 and 3. But as you can see, there's just so much to learn. So we're working on ways to maybe just have training programs where maybe we'll just cover a couple of topics that day. Maybe we'll do like a 10 to noon. So we're working on some ideas because this is such pertinent information for you, for your family, for your friends, and for your business. And this is, I mean, Rosemary could go on for another hour. Dee Dee could go on for an hour. I mean, we can all go on. I mean, Alex, all of us have so much information that's so important to you and to us that we want to continue to pass that on. Right now, we're going to do a couple of quick testimonies, but where's that Tom? Let's come up here real quick. Tom, right?
I'll do it from here.
Okay. This is where he's not on the list, but he has such a quick testimony he's going to share with us. I told him he said he can do it in less than a minute. But this is really interesting. Check this out.
Well, I'm not a member. Came here because a friend of mine gave me some water. And I'm working on my mom's house, and I cut myself. And normally a cut in the web of your hand, it takes a long time to heal. Well, 3 days later, just drinking this water, I've got skin back up. I don't have a scab.
3 days. He cut himself at his mom's house. A friend of his who's in the business gave him the water to drink. He drank the water for 3 days, and it's healed up already.
I'm not a member.
Well, you should be. All right, Chris, come over here. Chris has been bugging me for a couple of months. He wanted to give a quick little testimony, so I'm going to allow Chris to come up and share because this young man is just amazing. He's actually Alex's son, but he's actually also Alex's mentor. Tell him.
Well, I came with my dad. He adopted me like 3 years ago, right? And I came with like 7 or 8 different medications I had, and I was taking night pills to go to bed, pills for ADHD. And so when I started drinking the water, the doctor started cutting off little by little, and eventually I bet you he was mad because we didn't go to see him because I didn't need it anymore. And so I started getting into sports, and now I do swimming, and I feel good. I cut myself; it doesn't bleed as much anymore. Like if we're working at a house and I smash my finger, it won't bleed because it's like automatically already gonna heal itself.
Your collarbone.
Oh yeah, and I broke my collarbone playing with my cousin, and within 3 weeks I was drinking water like it was Kool-Aid, and within 3 weeks it was healed completely right here.
Chris, that was the best testimony of the day.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes. Patrick Galindo.
Pastor.
Pastor Galindo, sorry about that. Pastor, are you here? Pastor Galindo. No? Okay.
Rita Benavides.
Lisa.
Rita.
Huh?
Rita.
What will you say?
Rita Benavides.
She here?
Mr. and Miss El Garza.
Rita. Yeah, Rita's here.
Oh, Rita?
Wait a
Okay.
second, okay.
No, that's her.
Oh, sorry.
That's her. That's better.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you know, our testimonies have to be around 2 minutes. I know it's hard sometimes because we're all excited. We could take 22 minutes. But if you would just tell us, what has the alkaline water done for you?
Well, first of all, my cousin Elva and Albert are the ones that introduced me to alkaline water, and she had been telling me, I want you to come to the meeting, and you know, just like everybody else was sort of doubtful. But I have diabetes, and I also have rheumatoid arthritis, and I was getting kind of sick. I retired this year because I really wasn't feeling well. So anyway, I went in March. It was the end of March. Mr. Flores, in fact, was the one that was the speaker that evening, and I listened to everything he said. And I remember that I think my cousin had already told him about the RA that I had. And when I went that night, I was in between medications or injections. So I was really stiff. I could hardly move my fingers. They were hurting a lot. And when I went in there, Mr. Flores, I remember he gave me a little glass of water. And he said, before the night's over, I'm going to want you to drink several of these little glasses of water. So I think all in all, maybe 5 or 6. I don't recall. But I just kind of was, you know, you're doubtful, skeptical when you haven't heard of alkaline water. And so anyway, I drank the water, and I was listening to the presentation, and then towards the end of the evening, I did notice that my hand was starting to feel better, because my left hand was really bothering me. And I started noticing, well, gee, you know, whatever it is in the water, it's working. So that was the first part where I actually felt something. And then when he said acid reflux, my little antennas went up too, because I also had acid reflux, and it was getting pretty bad. So that prompted me to go ahead and get the water. And I started drinking it, and you know, my acid reflux has, I don't know whether it's still there, but it has not bothered me. It is really amazing, and that made a believer out of me. So I'm really happy about that.
Thank you so much. Wow. And our diabetes was down 2 points, just for a bonus. The doctor couldn't believe it. Dr. Cooper, she's going to tell him next time she goes she's been drinking alkaline water. You see, what's going to happen, I can tell you what's going to happen in the future. It's only a matter of time. The medical field is going to recognize this, and the doctors that are really doing what they're supposed to do, helping people to get healthier, are going to be telling people to go out and get alkaline water. It's just a matter of time. Sure, there's doctors already, as you all know, there's doctors already who have made the transition from being MDs to being MDs/health doctors. And they're starting to recommend better food, more exercise, instead of just medications. It's just a matter of time. We are at the right place at the right time, with the right person. Edmund John. That's all I can, that wraps it up. But listen, our last testimony is really exciting because we have Tatiana. It took me almost a year to learn how to say that. But I'm pretty good, huh? Yeah. So she's going to share with you what she's going to share her testimony.
Well, I do work at the corporate office. Last week, I volunteer with Young Life, an organization that helps kids in the community. Last week, we went to a week-long camp, and Mr. Edmund donated 50 bottles for the kids, and we took pure Alka, which is the tap water. And since the camp was in the mountains, the kids get headaches really quickly. So last year when I took my kids, we were always in the clinic trying to get ibuprofen and kind of getting their headaches away, but somebody told me, you know, they're not getting enough water. This year at the camp, we got like a miniature award for being the only kids that drank the water. I had kids sneaking in my cabin from other schools trying to get the water, and I actually had to leave my power stick behind because of one of the counselors. She kept sneaking in like at 3, 4 in the morning trying to get the water, and her testimony was at camp pretty crazy. I got up at 4 in the morning. We didn't go to sleep till like 1, 2 in the morning every day. So the counselors there had a worse schedule than mine. So this counselor, she kept talking to me. She's like, I'm just so tired. And she came in for a glass, and she's like, hold on. And she kept coming back for more. And so I left her my power stick so she could go through camp because she was there for 4 weeks. So she got the energy she needed.
Thank you. I'm telling you, it's just, I mean,